Manchester United on Video bids a warm welcome back to Eric Cantona. Judging by fan reaction, everybody's missed him. Having said that, everybody's had plenty of time to make sure his reappearance didn't go unnoticed. Manchester United, he's simply worshipped. But then so too is Ryan Giggs, at home with the Welshman, with secrets revealed.
Not a waterbed or anything like that?
No, it's not, no.
Our trip back in time salutes a selection of red all-time greats. Wonderful moments from 71 with Charlton, Law, and you-know-who.
Best, and there it is! George Best!
From glorious past to wonderful futures, the rise and rise and rise of Terry Cook. We focus on this time a player whose fantasy football league value is unbelievable.
I think it's zero. I mean, everybody that comes up to me at various different places asking me, I say, look, just sell me. I'm a complete waste of time. Just sell me.
There's our usual comprehensive coverage of all the goals, some more unusual than others. And make sure you get the pens at the ready, because you could be the lucky person that wins Megastore merchandise worth a value of £100. But let's start at the beginning of the season, that is. Eric Cantona wasn't the only big name to miss the big kick-off. The faces were just relieved he'd pledged his future to the Old Trafford cause. It was Aston Villa for openers on a glorious summer's day in the Midlands. No Giggs, Cole or Bruce. Instead it was the turn of the youngsters, who were always going to take time to settle.
Here's Wright. Dwight York, who has been busy in this first quarter of an hour. And the nice ball back to him from Townsend. That came off the forehead of Neville. Villa still have it. Here's Charles, just drilled it in. Taylor scores. Well, nicely done by Keane. Now, can he deliver a good cross? Little Alan Wright took it off him. And he's found Draper. Who's found Dwight York, and United are backpedaling. Still Dwight York, Milosevic, Draper. It's 2-0. Here's Draper. That's for Milosevic over the top. Parker's in. Oh! Penalties given. But it's Dwight York who's placed the ball on the spot, looking for Villa's third, and we've played just over 35 minutes. But there are real worries for Alex Ferguson, and look at Brian Kidd alongside him. Already the chin's in the hands, and the expression is very downcast. Keane for United. Scholes was in, but he didn't win it. Here's Neville. Flicked on, great header by Keane, and a super save by Bosnich. McClare and Beckham. That's intended for Scholes. It's a great ball. Back to Sharp. Oh, Bosnich has saved it again. They're not going to beat Bosnich, are they? Now Beckham. There are plenty of United forwards to look for. McClare's there. Oh, Bosnich has saved it again. That time it was over the top of McClare, and it was knocked in by Roy Keane.
Not surprisingly though, a field day for the press on the opening day. Only one story on the back pages.
They were just waiting for that. And of course, we lost 3 incredibly bad goals in the first half at Villa that you hold your hands up and say, right, you know, we don't deserve to win games, they lose goals like that. But the second half we played excellent football. We totally dominated, and if Bosnich hadn't made his 4 or 5 fantastic saves, we probably would have won the match.
The name of Johnny Carey will rank alongside the most famous in Manchester United's history. The captain that led Matt Busby's rejuvenated team to league and cup success in the post-war period. Carey's was an exciting side that played with style and exuberance, featuring the likes of Charlie Mitten and Jack Rowley. Increasingly, United began to extend a dominant influence on the English game. Arguably his greatest personal moment was leading his side to victory at Wembley in 1948 against Blackpool.
Manchester kick-off. A close duel between Manchester's Johnny Carey and Blackpool's Walter Rickett, number 11, is highlight number 1 in a thrill-packed match. Charlie Mitten, number 11, starts off United's winning attack, and from Rowley's pass, Stan Pearson scores the goal that gives Manchester the cup.
It was Carey himself who went up to receive the trophy from the King. A year later, he was named Footballer of the Year. And in 1952, he captained United to triumph in the league. The rebuilding process just rolls on and on at Old Trafford. Yet another magnificent new stand which will take the capacity to 55,000 when it's completed before the end of the season. But with improved facilities has come a rise in seating prices.
We're building a £28 million stand now. That is a huge amount of money. So clearly we have to look at pricing on that. But likewise, we don't want to price ourselves out of the market. Now, we've put the top price up from £16 to £18 this year, which is quite a percentage jump, but it's only £2. And let's be quite honest about it, if I decided it was £20 or £22, I still believe we would sell out. We'd have had more complaints, but we would still have sold out. But we don't just milk it. What we say is, we need some increase to help to pay for the new stand, but let's be reasonable about it, and we decided that a £2 increase was about the right mark.
There was more injury worry for United after Gary Pallister had been stretchered off against Aston Villa, but happily he was fit enough to resume his central defensive partnership with Steve Bruce in the first home game of the season against West Ham.
Cross from Beckham. Breaker away. Sharp down. This is Irwin. And now Scholes. And here goes Irwin again. Port challenged by Reaper. Still Irwin's bouncing. Normal service is resumed at last. A goal for Manchester United from Paul Scholes with less than 5 minutes of the second half gone. Bishop to Moncur. A little bit of space here for Allen. Didn't really make the most of it. Might get another chance. Moncur. Oh, across dangerously. Bruce tried to turn it away, and it's gone in for an own goal. And West Ham United are level. The Manchester United lead lasted barely 5 minutes. Nicely struck pass for Scholes. Neville making the overlapping run. Beckham. But into Sharp. It'll come for Keane. It's good. Manchester United back in front through Roy Keane. A roar of relief as much as anything inside Old Trafford. Midway through the second half, and Roy Keane gives Manchester United the lead for the second time. Reaper's header straight down to McClare, who read that really intelligently. He's got Beckham in space here to his right. Oh, Potts couldn't clear. McClare! Saved by McCloskey. Big West Ham United keeper retaining their interest in the game. McClare could have buried them there.
The first 3 points and more good news with the return of Andy Cole, who hadn't kicked a ball all summer. Cole determined to prove he's as fit and sharp as ever, to show the Premiership he's as lethal in a red shirt as he was in a black and white one.
Well, in this week of examination results, it seems that it's the bookies who are not doing their homework. Premiership top scorer, Collymore, Ferdinand Shearer, fair enough, the odds are short, but Andy Cole at 10 to 1, take it from the horse's mouth, it's worth a few bob.
To be honest, I think it's top 5 for the past 2 seasons. You know what I mean? So I don't mind. Come May, I'll see how many goals I've got.
Do you set yourself a target? Is it burning at you to beat people like that?
Nah, not at all. I never set myself any targets. I score as many goals as I can do. If I set myself a target and fall short, I'll be disappointed, so I won't be doing that.
He's certainly not short of admirers or well-wishers, and Andy Cole is a striker who believes in his own ability. He's convinced he can score goals, and no one else has any reason to doubt him. We're all looking forward to seeing him at his very best.
Man United is still a good team, fair enough, we've got quite a few kids in the team, but the kids are going to give it 100%, so they ain't going to make Man United a bad team, so, come May, we see where Man United end up.
Where do you think they'll end up?
You tell me. Come May, I'll leave it till May and then we'll see where we finish up.
August the 26th, 3 games into the season, and Alex Ferguson decided it was time to give Andy Cole free rein once again. A place in the starting lineup to face Wimbledon at Old Trafford, and he didn't disappoint.
May only be Wimbledon, but certainly the Old Trafford crowd are getting behind the teams. And a real atmosphere inside the ground. This is Roy Keane. Scholes quickens up the pace. Keane again. Lovely finish from Roy Keane. Roy Keane takes the tributes, but that really was an excellently worked team goal. Wimbledon pumping away, trying to force the mistake, but it's all United at the moment. Sharp to Cole. This is what he likes to do, to run at defenders. Oh, he saw the gap. Only stopped by a fine save by Paul Hill. That was typical Cole. Keane to Scholes, beginning to really look the part, linking up well with Cole. Cole teases. Well, what else does he have to do to score a goal? He's back and he's bang in form. Elwin. The Scholes, great save again by Hill. Lovely instinctive play by Scholes. Cole twisting and turning, he deserves a goal. He's got one. Not before time. Andy Cole in for the first start of the season, and he's really looking sharp. Great ball through, only one thing in the mind of Andy Cole, the one thing he's best at, and that's scoring goals. 2-0 to Manchester United. You can never discount Wimbledon, even when they're 2 down. This is a lovely little move. Kimball's cross. And Earl scores! Wimbledon are back in it. It's 2-1. Beginning to spread a little as Wimbledon go for the equaliser, but this is Ryan Giggs looking for United's third. Now Lee Sharp. Sharp's grass cutter, and it's Roy Keane who makes hay. Keane's second goal of the game, United's third. The goalkeeper for once couldn't hold it, and Roy Keane was on hand.
How did you see that Andy Cole goal? Because he basically had his back to goal, didn't he? Turned his man and hit the ball at the same time.
Well, that's what Andy's all about. He's great strength in the box, isn't it? And once it goes into the box, he's always looking to make that half yard. And I don't think in the English game at the moment there's anybody better than that in that situation. And when you consider that he's hardly had a full game, and to come off the operating table and come back for us like that and stick a goal for us, it just shows his worth to the team.
2 days later, and Blackburn Rovers and another star returning from injury, Ryan Giggs back to something like fitness, giving the manager and the whole team such a lift when the likes of Ryan come back into contention. No question, it delights the fans too.
Rovers, Manchester United! Rovers, Manchester United!
Going to Blackburn is always a tough game, but I felt pretty confident. They were starting to shape well, the team. They were full of enthusiasm, the team spirit was terrific. And of course, on the night at Blackburn, we produced a marvellous performance of really first-class football.
Pearson, Sharp went for the same ball. Cole collects in the end. Here's Scholes. Sharp. Scholes. And Cole is onside. And he's got there ahead of the goalkeeper. Andy Cole has almost done it. What a great saving challenge from Colin Hendry. Right on the line. Well, he denied Cole with a tackle a moment ago. And now he's denied Andy Cole with that goal line clearance. Just as the deadlock seems set to be broken.
Well, it's an intelligent ball from Scholes. I do think that Cole was offside. Quickly gets off on his feet. Looks to have scored. What a great defensive clearance that is from Hendry.
Neville. Oh, given away by Hendry. Straight to Andy Cole, the last player that you would want to do that to. And here's Nicky Butt. And he's missed a golden opportunity for Manchester United. Manchester United youngsters having settled down well during the first 45 minutes. There's one of them, Butt finding another Scholes, and here's Andy Cole. Nicky Butt. Oh, good save by Flowers. Cole was in there, and Scholes almost got it in from the angle. Cleared up the line by Burnett, tapped it down by Lee Sharp. What an amazing sequence! Tim Flowers thought that he'd kept out everything that could be struck at him, but Lee Sharp was quickest to react in the end, and Manchester United, after half a minute of the second half, are ahead.
And what an amazing start to the second half. The ball takes so many twists in the box. Flowers thinks he's made a great save. Second save from Cole. Scholes thinks he's scored. It's Berg off the line. Just as they think they've thwarted the danger, it was Sharp on hand to stick it in the back of the net.
Nickel with a kick. Lucy's header up into the air. That's Shearer. Now Hendry looking for it. Shearer! Alan Shearer scores his third goal of the season. And he couldn't be any happier, and neither could the Blackburn fans. Sharp, who scored Manchester United's goal, takes his corner. But Scholes came in at the far post after Butt had the initial header.
And this time Pallister is going forward for a long throw. No, he's not. He was ready to go and Irwin sent him back.
Neville takes the throw. Keane. Butt. Sharp. Nicky Butt. It just won't break for them. It might now. Here's Cole. Can he turn? Sharp. Oh, beautiful goal from David Beckham. He curled it in from the angle. And Alex Ferguson is delighted that one of his youngsters has restored Manchester United's lead.
Well, in many ways it's a similar goal to the first. Blackburn can't get it out. Credit to Manchester United, they do what you expect them to do. They keep the ball in there, they keep Blackburn under pressure from Beckham. He's on the half turn here, but he knows exactly where the goal is. Curls it inside the far post.
Perhaps it's the rivalry that brings out the best in United. A great performance for so many reasons. Not so much because Blackburn pipped them last season, more so as a vindication of the manager's belief in his imposing youngsters. The only disappointment on a night of pure excitement, the dismissal of Roy Keane, a second bookable offence, judged to have fallen deliberately under the challenge from Colin Hendry. Certainly the referee David Ellery had no doubts, and Keane was sent off. But nothing could take away the glory of victory, and this time the headline writers drooled. Aston Villa seemed light years away. Suddenly the top of the table had a familiar look too, with United level on top with Leeds and Newcastle. And so to the latest in our series of classic clashes, a truly memorable game down at Selhurst Park. The United side was a little past its peak, but still capable of great performances. Paddy Crerand playing his 300th league game, but all eyes as usual were focused on George Best. best in a team that also contained Bobby Charlton and Dennis Law. It was a truly amazing game, with United getting off to the worst possible start.
And now it's Bertinel streaking away, and a goal! Palace go into the lead with only 4 minutes gone. Supreme opportunism again there by Alan Bertinel. Sadler, losing it to Tambling. And number 2, Bobby Tambling. A mistake by Sadler, giving Stepney no chance. And Tambling makes it 2-0. Tambling. And Hoadley doing that one slip, and Law now for Gowling. Still Gowling. Law, and a goal! 2-1. Dennis Law. Willie Morgan. Between two players, and the referee has stopped it, which may have been a pity for United because they were in possession with either Crerand or Gowling to go for it, but he gave the free kick, and it's Bobby Charlton to take it. Law was saying he wants it in the air, so too does Gowling. And Law, in fact, with an overhead kick, and it's there! He didn't catch it properly, but it went in for all that. Completely deceiving John Jackson. Law, Charlton. And on the far side, Crerand. Look at that for a pass as well. What a superb pass by Charlton. Oh, not such a good one by Paddy Crerand, but in fact Bobby Charlton made something of it. Law lifting himself again. Gowling, Best, and there it is! George Best, 3-2, and Manchester United's comeback is complete. Payne. And Best once more bursting on that scene, and played there nicely by Crerand for Best to hammer on, and Jackson, and it's there! Oh, a mistake by John Jackson, and Best has scored again. And Wall through the legs of Morgan to Taylor. Tambling. Oh, and Crerand's beaten him. Played there for Law, and number 5 by Dennis Law. And that, of course, is Law's hat-trick. And still inscrutable, Matt Busby. Taylor with the corner. Wall flicking it in, and it's there by Queen. Jerry Queen, who got the final touch.
And I always thought, in fact, that the Crystal Palace club was a good, honest and a very fair-minded club as well. But obviously yesterday they were very disappointed when they lost a match that they thought they were going to win. But don't you agree that this might be going just a little too far? Well, that most certainly is one way of wiping out the opposition.
And so back to the modern day and a meeting with an old friend. It's still hard to think of Andre Kanchelskis as an Everton player, but that's what he is, and that's how United had to cope with him when the two sides met at Goodison Park.
You know, over the years since I've come to the club, we've had many ex-players playing against us. Andre Kanchelskis is not any different from the rest of them. You just have to accept that in the modern day game, players are going to leave you and go to other clubs. And sometimes they embarrass you. So I wasn't in the slightest bit worried about Andre Kanchelskis, to be honest with you. If Dennis Owen can't handle Andre Kanchelskis, no one can. He's the best fullback in the business. And I was confident of Dennis's, ability to handle it.
In the end, Andre's match only lasted 12 minutes following a collision with Lee Sharp. It was purely unintentional, yet Kanchelskis had fallen on his shoulder, and despite treatment, he was unable to continue. Mind you, by then, Sharpie had got United off to the best possible start.
Scholes. Moving to
do rather better than Mark Hughes was able to do in the cup final against Dave Watson. Beckham's cross, and the opening score. Lee Sharp. They got outnumbered, and he just had to apply the finish. It was a really good ball through to Beckham. Good cross, missed the man in the middle, but nobody was watching Sharp. Bruce, Lindstedt coming in from behind him, and Limpar makes it one apiece. Chance for Dennis Irwin, or maybe for David Beckham. It's Beckham. Oh! Neville Southall completely beaten. David Beckham, very unfortunate. Goalkeeper and defenders, again they put a defender on the line, completely beaten. Unsworth, only to Cole. Sit back when he shouldn't have, and Sharp scores his second of the match and puts United in front for the second time. Limpar will have to get round Steve Bruce. Schmeichel happy, you can see. Oh, was he? Yes! Pull right out. Well seized by Beckham, Giggs to the right. I tell you what, that's a wonderful finish from a player who hasn't been on very long, has seen very little of the ball, and the pass made by Beckham was just slightly behind him. Mistake by Parkinson, Everton in trouble, Beckham with the break, the pull across, and Giggs finishing with real class.
And the great thing about that goal, Rob, is the celebration. You watch the celebration, it was absolutely marvellous. I was really excited. When I watched it on television after we come back from Russia, I was really delighted to see that kind of celebrating. It was all the young ones together, they all ran after Ryan and he went across to the fans, you know. It was all together, it was really, you watch it, it's fantastic.
Truly fantastic. It's almost become known as the rebirth of Ryan Giggs, who's come so far and done so much in such a short space of time. No one's been under the microscope more as the boy has grown into a man, into a superstar, a model footballer, a model professional, a player whose development has been filmed every step of the way. Everybody wants a piece of Ryan Giggs. He's almost become public property. Yet last season, niggling injuries left him frustrated and on the sidelines. The builder-uppers are about to try and knock him down. It's been a distinctly trying time.
Is it easy to handle the fame?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've just not got to look at it as fame. You've just got to try and get on with it and just try and block everything out and just take every day as it comes, really. Well, when I first got into the team, you know, I felt as if it was a compliment. And you know, people always stopping you in the street, and you know, you enjoyed it, and you know, you thought, oh, this is wonderful. But then after a while, you know, it was every time I went out, and you know, it could get a bit of a hassle. But I mean, I've been in the first team now about 5 years, so I mean, I've just grown to get used to it, really.
The comeback from injury has been a slow and painstaking one, reduced to testimonials and friendlies in an effort to regain the sparkle that sets him aside from mere mortals. He's always had those extraordinary gifts, and we're all selfish. We're all dying to see them used as often as possible.
You know, mentally, you want to get back with the lads, you know, go away with them on away trips. And, you know, when you're injured, you miss some of the banter that's flying about and some of the jokes. And, you know, the team spirit.
So, you know, it's good to be back amongst all that.
Have you had any postcards from Ince yet?
No, I've spoken to him a few times, but no postcards. No.
He rings up from Italy, does he?
Yeah.
Go kind of
reverses the charges usually.
He may have lost one big pal, but he's stayed very dear and very close to his roots. Friends at school are still friends now. The superstar is one down-to-earth young man, making his way in the world like so many others, in a new home.
What's this? What on earth is that?
That's mine and my friend's invention.
And you're going to tell me now that you ate all of that to make
Well, that's what I stuck them together, my mate ate them. This is my untidy bedroom.
This is probably the room where 1,000 women want to break into. It's yeah, you're right. It's untidy. You're right.
Yeah.
It's not a waterbed or anything like that.
No, it's not. No.
Are you a big sleeper?
Most I am really.
Have a good nap in the afternoon, don't they?
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time asleep.
Not in the afternoons really. I like a line though. I don't usually leave training.
How many hours a night?
Usually about 9.5.
I'm not talking Saturday nights here. Friday nights as well.
About 9.5, 10.
That's good sleeping. You can always tell a person by their fridge.
No, I'm going away, you see, so.
Sure, yeah. We got pear halves, jam, orange juice. You live on a very strict diet, don't you? You're never going to have weight problems looking at that. Who does all the cooking then?
I usually go around to my mate's house or my mum's house for dinner. I usually have lunch at the cliff, at the training ground, and then go to my friend's house for...
Looks like you never do any cooking yourself.
No, I mean, if I have to, then I'll just do spaghetti bolognese or something. That's the only thing I can do, really.
Useless.
Now these are faces that could tell a few stories. The locals from Volgograd, formerly known as Stalingrad, where swede and turnip is more likely to be found on the menu than Ryan's spaghetti bolognese. Kitman Norman Davis had actually made sure he'd packed plenty of food to bring with the team as United travelled east for a tricky first-round UEFA Cup tie in the former Soviet Union. This is the kind of place where the pace of life is certainly a lot slower than Manchester, just about slower than anywhere else in the world. Let's get it right. Rota Volgograd, the opposition, in terrible conditions, and what a frustrating night for Manchester United. They created so many chances and really could have buried the hosts.
Becker, well balanced and composed on the ball, but outside it. Here he is. Ryan Giggs coming in at the far post. Irwin. Giggs. Sharp has joined Scholes in the centre. He's trying to get the angle for the cross. Still Giggs. Oh, and the cutback there. Sharp. Giggs on the ball again. Scholes makes a bit of space for him. Giggs with the shot. But Giggs with the header! Goalkeeper stayed on his line. Giggs won the aerial battle. Couldn't quite keep it down. Neville. And Giggs goes in for it! And very nearly supplied it.
It's strange to play in these type of stadiums, you know, but it's all an experience. And the main thing was, again, the kids have shown themselves, they've got the ball to handle these situations, and we're just delighted to get through with a decent result.
And how much of a springboard do you think this draw is for the second leg?
Well, like I say, we'd like to put one of our chances away. There's always that danger of the away goal. But they've got to come to Old Trafford. It's going to be intimidating for them. And hopefully, if we create the chances on that night, we'll see them off.
The crucial penalty for Manchester United. He's done so much for them. He's won it for them. The FA Youth Cup goes to Manchester United for the 8th time.
The man who won the FA Youth Cup for Manchester United last season was about to make his first team mark. Terry Cook is a name you'll hear a lot about in the coming months, the latest homegrown, or should we say home-nurtured player to make the grade. It was a family day out for the Cooks, who travelled to support their boy. A special kiss from Mum, wishing him well on his big day. In fact, it was a truly amazing day for all. Cook's ability has been developing in the past few years, and now he's knocking on the first team door. His shooting ability, pace, and an uncanny eye for goal, and a debut against Bolton made it a true family celebration.
It's our silver wedding anniversary today. We've been married 25 years.
Isn't he lucky?
And the whole family, we're all going back to Birmingham tonight, and we've got a big family doing a Greek restaurant in the middle of town where all our families coming, so it should be a good night.
It's one heck of a day for the Cook family, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I
Brilliant.
mean, we could have filled this stadium by ourselves today. Yeah, but it's absolutely fantastic.
Terry couldn't hide the delight on his face when he walked onto the pitch. After all, it's what he's been working all his life for.
Nicky Butt, Paul Parker, lots of space to work in. Ryan Giggs with the ball. Cook's onside. He has two players in the middle. Who does he pick? He goes for Sharp, who miskicks just in front of goal. And almost a glorious start for Terry Cook in setting up a goal for Manchester United. Centre-backs join the attack for Bolton, all three of them. Schmeichel comes and catches confidently. Looking for Giggs. He's all alone up front, but he releases it anyway to Beckham. Giggs takes that beautifully on his chest. Now into his stride, teases Phillips, puts in a good cross, great save, and it's a goal! Paul Scholes, the scorer, Ryan Giggs, the creator. Ryan Giggs making his first start since April is in scintillating form, twisting Phillips all over, beautiful cross. Rannigan stopped the own goal, but he couldn't stop Scholes. And Manchester United lead 1-0. Given away to Butt. With him Giggs. Giggs looking for Scholes. Given away. There's a chance for Beckham. Oh, great save. Given away again to Beckham. Bolton almost willing him to have shots. There's one from Cook. Oh dear me, it clipped the back of the net. Talk about confidence on your debut. Scholes. Cook, full of back heels. There he goes again. Cook's inside the Manchester United defence. He's looking for Giggs. Oh, he scored! Ryan Giggs, the scorer. But he owes everything to the man with the tricks on the other wing, little Terry Cook. He started the move, a little back flip Cook then. He beat the Bolton defence for pace. Wonderful cross. It was a stretch for Giggs, but it was well worth it. It's 2-0 to Manchester United. Ryan Giggs keeps going in full flight, drawing Stubbs towards him, turning him one way and then the other, leaving it to Scholes. Can he finish it off? Not far away. The Manchester United seem to be able to move from first gear to fourth with no trouble at all. We're into the final 5 minutes of play. Behind you is the cry. Something in here. Ryan Giggs nips in. Now Beckham. Beckham looking and finding Giggs. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful! That was a class goal. Beckham, Giggs and Scholes. The kids are united. Look at this. This is a picture of what's to come. Beckham, Giggs, Scholes, all one-touch stuff, all quality stuff. That is a wonderful goal.
Just knew I was going to enjoy it and go out there and just have
because it could have been my last chance. Might not play for the first team again. I just knew I was going to go out there and enjoy it.
What bits of the game do you remember?
Setting up the goal for Giggsy, flicking it on, and I nearly scored, which I should have done. Looking at it again, it was quite an easy chance really. The crowd was unbelievable. They helped me through it, mainly the crowd. Shouting my name and that. Brilliant. I was getting quite nervous in the game because I was getting a bit tired because of the atmosphere and that. People kept taking deep breaths,
Terry lives in digs with 5 other United youngsters under the guidance of landlady Viv, home from home really. Keith Gillespie used to stay here, but judging by the state of his bedroom, he's following more in the footsteps of Ryan Giggs.
Viv always does the rooms every day, Viv. But I think she leaves my part of the room because she knows I like it messy. She always knows I'll come in and ruin it, so I don't think she bothers.
That's part of your psyche, that's the part.
Yeah. That's why I like it. I treat it as my own home. That's why I like it.
A great beginning from a player who looks to have a big future with Manchester United. Terry Cook, fast, strong, tricky, intelligent, with his feet firmly on the ground. Mind you, his family wouldn't let him be any other way.
Eric Callison always keeps talking to me. He always pulls me to one side and says, "You're doing well, just keep it up and just don't let it get to your head." Which he won't do because there's too many people bring me back down to earth if it does, like my family, my friends.
And so to competition time, your chance to wander around the United Megastore and pick up £100 worth of goodies. All you have to do is tell us which team Terry Cook's penalty helped defeat in last year's FA Youth Cup final. Was it A, Leeds United, or was it B, Tottenham Hotspur? Answers on a postcard to a slightly different address this time, so please take note. Meanwhile, Adam Waring from Rochester in Kent won himself a new away strip for telling us that Andrei Kanchelskis was United's top scorer last season, while Dale Spedding and Dave Chetwynd won signed copies of Alex Ferguson's book, A Year in the Life. Fergie, of course, has won 7 major trophies during his time at United. Best of luck. For those of you, though, with a nervous disposition, please look away now.
Barnes. And the shot takes a deflection. Oh, dear me! Wrong-footed Kevin Pilkington. And York City have taken the lead at Old Trafford. Arms go up, asking for offside. He wasn't, and that's got to be a penalty. Well, it's got to be a sending off, unfortunately, I think, for Pat McGibbon. I don't think there's any other alternative for the referee. He's looking for a second goal, Barnes. He's got it, and he can feel the tremor around Great Britain. Pepper's cross. Easy for Bilkins. He's done, he's lost it! Oh my word, it's 3-0! Davis towards Giggs. Dangerous this. Still Giggs. Into the path of Butt. Cut back to Giggs. Blocked by Atherton. Sheffield Wednesday escape by the skin of their teeth. Some sorcery from Ryan Giggs. Could it be anybody other than Waddle? Yes, it's Pembridge, and it's deflected, and it's hit the bar. Oh! And over the bar by Pearce. I got in a clean tackle. De Greiser has won it for Hurst. Petrescu arriving at support. Dan Petrescu, good save. Really good stop by Schmeichel. Pallister losing out. It's David Hurst. De Greiser to his left. Mark De Greiser. Oh, good stop by Schmeichel. Pembridge maybe. Still a chance. Oh, how did that stay out? Steve Bruce had a look at it and then took his head out of the firing line.
A draw and a significant point that took United to the top of the Premiership table for the first time, having played one more game than Newcastle. Now, though, time to focus on a player who's here, there and everywhere.
Now they can finish Wimbledon off. McLeod does! Oh, does he? Oh, does he what? What a goal!
I've never really been that starstruck. The person that in recent times that I most wanted to meet, I had the great fortune of meeting, which was Nelson Mandela a couple of years ago in South Africa. I've always wanted to be 5'10", so I'd have to grow 1/4 of an inch. Never had one. That was one of the reasons why my Christian name's Brian, because my mother didn't want anybody to shorten it. I loathe smoking. Can't see any reason why anybody should be allowed to smoke outside their own little box. They've all been great. I don't know who said it, but I mean, I've never scored a bad goal. I think it's 0. I mean, everybody that comes up to me at various different places asking me, I say, look, just sell me. I'm a complete waste of time. Just sell me. But to be snowed in, because we've got 4 games in 8 days or something. So I'd have to say that, yeah.
It was a European second-leg tie dominating Alex Ferguson's thoughts as he walked out at Old Trafford. Andy Cole returning to try and add firepower up front. And with Eric Cantona scheduled to return a few days later, the omens were good. But then, whoever believed in omens?
Korniets, who played in the same team in the Ukraine, Donetsk, as Andrei Kanchelskis. There's no flag. Zernafo, Niedergaus, and Manchester United look at the linesman, look at themselves. There's Bruce making a mistake, and United are caught out again. Paratenikov. 2-0. That's what he can do. Neville with some time here to assess the cross. Samarukov comes, is beaten to it. Oh, the header by Butt, brilliantly cleared off the line. The crowd fully behind the United cause, which needs all the help it can get at the moment.
I know we like to see United play football, but I think now the call of the day is put the ball in that box anywhere and you'll get something.
Cole! Oh! Well, everything that's happened so far, 33 minutes gone, all the key moments have gone the way of Rota Volgograd. On the right of Scholes. Giggs herring through the centre. Cole coming in from a deeper position. This is Ryan Giggs, now Andy Cole. Goalkeeper's push it out, Scholes! Well, that's one back. Beckham, there was a spare man inside, Phil Neville, and just couldn't thread it through to him. Cover there this time, handball though, by Schmeichel. Referee gives it on the advice of the linesman.
I just wonder where the handball took place, Martin. The United players are convinced it's in the area. He's calling the referee over. Now this will be a very big decision. Oh, right on the line. Got a great angle of it here. Throw-in comes in. Goes out. Oh,
that's a penalty.
That's a penalty. It's 2 yards in the box. The linesman, he doesn't have a great angle of that, but it's 2 yards in the box. Yeah, maybe a little bit of justice. A goal from the free kick.
Giggs and Beckham. It's Giggs. Let's watch Peter Schmeichel. Here he comes.
Well, he's 6'3". He showed against Blackburn. Was it last season, season before?
Schmeichel! He's claimed the goal. Peter Schmeichel has given Manchester United a most amazing lifeline here.
Well, fourth corner he's staying up for. He's 6'3". I'll tell you what, that Lofthouse would have been proud of that.
A truly amazing goal and a truly amazing finish, but unfortunately not enough to save United on another disappointing European occasion. Having said that, Peter Schmeichel's goal has been threatening for some time, following numerous forays forward into the box. He certainly deserved the applause, yet he's not the first United keeper to get a goal. Harry Gregg scored on tour in the United States, and Alex Stepney slotted 2 penalties in the 73-74 season. But now that Peter's found the mark, you'll find his traditional green shirt nestling alongside the traditional red.
So now I have an outfield shirt for Peter, so Peter would have to then get changed on the dugout and go out with his number 1 red shirt on. And after what he did against Rota, who knows?
Who knows indeed. What I can tell you is that Norman Davis, kitman, had the delightful task of laying out a very special shirt on the first day of October. The King was back.
You all that full match commentary is coming your way from 4 o'clock.
Hear the fanfares. It's the second coming of Eric Cantona. An extraordinary event. Up to this point, secondary to this sighting. Genius.
Well, that's an incredible start to an incredible afternoon. And sure enough, he's got to be involved right at the heart of it. Liverpool contribute. They lost possession of the ball easily in midfield. But he finds space, whether he didn't quite get picked. What a start for the home side.
But it's with Cantona now, and you can sense the extra anticipation. The pass is a good one again to Butt. It's Lee Sharp.
Well, that's a gilt-edged chance. They don't come much better than that in games like this, and he knows it. But he'll feel he should have scored there. Certainly his manager did.
A long way off the play so quickly, and Manchester United swept it forward, but having turned down Liverpool, he answered the call for United here. It's a fairy story for the Frenchman. Liverpool will say with the help of the referee. Beckham. Cantona lets it run brilliantly for Giggs. It's Andy Cole with the overhead.
It was almost the perfect climax, but what a comeback all the same. Eric Cantona involved in everything Manchester United did, and for once, a totally positive response in the press to a totally positive return. And you can enjoy more of that special day and the build-up to it with this new official video, Eric Cantona, Return of the Magnificent Seven. That's one not to be missed. 2 days later, the Reds and Eric were on the road again, this time to York City, desperate to avenge the 3-0 defeat at Old Trafford. Alex Ferguson was just desperate to make sure he had his best players available as Roy Keane went through the rigours of an early fitness test.
That's gone through, and Cole, Warrington off his line. Cole squeezes the cross in, And that's a nervous moment for the young goalkeeper, but he's got away with it for the time being. Cantona. Good ball in, a great chance here. Oh, it's there! And Paul Scholes gets the early goal for Manchester United that York City were dreading. Scholes has angled another ball in here for Andy Cole to chase. And he might have to hold it up until one or two arrive in the middle. And they are arriving, and here's a second goal surely. And it is scored for Manchester United. And they are right back in this tie now, thanks to Terry Cook and his first goal for the club. That's good ball winning. Sets Jordan on his way. Nicely slipped out here for Barnes, who's got the confidence to take them on. And Paul Barnes still has a chance, and it's there! York City score! If Manchester United do get one, mind you now, we're in for a terrific last few minutes in this game. Cole. He mustn't give away a penalty, and here's a chance for Scholes, and he's got that goal. Scholes is second. Cantona slips that one out for Giggs. Imminent danger again to York City, and Scholes is in. Oh, so close to a hat-trick.
Chance after chance, and one more goal would have taken the tie into extra time. But full-time came too quickly, and United were out of their second cup competition in a week. All eyes now focused on the league, and the manager has no doubts.
I think we can win it. I think we're capable of it. I think that the concentration factor is something we hope the young players will improve on. And if I keep my main big players fit, Eric Cantona, Andy Cole, Roy Keane, if I can get them back and playing regular, and the central defenders, the experience there, Peter Schmeichel, that's the backbone of the team. The young players will fit in very well.